Dear friends, welcome to Civil Conclave presentation. In this presentation, I am going to explain you step-by-step procedures involved in building construction. I covered in this item only the major items. The minor items is not covered, which I will be discussing in the future due course. Building development step include in a development is anything but a simple assignment. Maybe it is requires heaps of burr and speculation. In spite of the fact that for building development required heaps of time and it is respective work, yet its outcome is perpetual resources for us. Accordingly, care should be taken in a building development measure. Prior to arranging building development ventures must consider significant perspectives like the reason for development, utility, monetary capability, the interest for work, and so forth. Following are the steps involved in building construction. Pre-construction steps: to acquire the land, to hire the technical team, prepare a estimation and budgeting, permission from the necessary authorities, ground development. Construction. During building construction steps: site preparation, leveling work, excavation and PCC, foundation, plinth beam, superstructure column, floor slab, brick masonry, lintel over doors and windows, floor slab or a roof structure, door window framing and fixations, electrical and plumbing, exterior finishing, terrace and roof finishing, internal finishes. Pre-construction steps: to acquire the land. It is a main advance in a building development. Cost for the area for the structure which is most appropriate for a building development purposes. Be cautious while choosing a land which has all the ideal offices accessible close by and should be liberated from the all land related issues. It is proposed that do earlier information assortment prior to purchasing area, either by doing an investigate or the web, or look for help from the realtors or concerned people with respect to the powerful expense of the equivalent. Technical support. Subsequent to choosing the legitimate land for a building, take the assistance of an expert engineer to make building plans and take his recommendation. A modeler get ready arrangement according to a building necessity. Number of pad, shops depend upon your perquisite and spending plan. At that point, after a modeler talk with a primary designer for subtleties of the fortifications to be utilized, how profound your establishment will be, the size of the rock to be utilized, column width, and so on. Preparing estimate and budget. Building development includes a closer measure of material and spending plan. In the wake of arranging the underlying specific, finish these subtleties or move to the structural assessor. The structural assessor will gauge the material amount of various things to be worked, and set up a theoretical sheet that shows the expense of the building development. In the event that monetary assets are restricted, we will look for a pre-endorsement for advances ahead of time, and probably you may wind up in a joint venture. Permission from authorities. The important work to do after the project is ready is to be executed. For that, we have to take permission from the local municipal body before you go for the construction. Following are the list of the document a project required before applying permission. This document may differ from state to state, district to district, but some are essential for building construction work. Land survey. Survey of the land has to be carried out with the help of an authorized land surveyor. Soil test. Land documents. Architecture drawings. structural report, architect certificate of undertaking, the record of certificate of the undertaking of a civil engineer on record. The following are the building construction steps for any type of a construction. Site preparation or leveling. The construction site must be cleaned before the work is executed. This work involves the removal of roots, trees, debris and leveling ground area. This is the image of a site preparation. Excavation and PCC. The foundation of the building ground is excavated with the help of excavating machine as per the building dimension specified in this drawing. In this foundation a trench, a layer of PCC is laid in the dug portion before patching up the reinforcement for the foundation. This is the image of how to do the excavation. Foundation. The structure is upheld on the establishment is the lowermost piece of the structure that is in contact with the soil or a dirt. A structure is moved from the superstructure to the soil and should be very solid to deal with the heap. After the PCC, work establishment fortification work has to begin. The establishment base level must check prior to cementing it. The excess space between the establishment is loaded up with the earth. See, this is the image of how to carry out the foundation works. Plinth beam and slab. After the foundation work is done, ground beam work preparation is started and poured with the concreting. Over the plinth beam, masonry work is started and space between the foundation and the plinth beam is filled with the soil. This is the image of a plinth work, how it has been executed. Superstructure column. The superstructure is a portion above the plinth level of the building. The main component of the structure is a column and beam. The columns are built up to the slab level and the frame for further construction is prepared. This is the image of how to do a columns and what is the column layout drawings and everything. Brick masonry work. As column and beam work is completed, masonry work is started with the different materials such as bricks, concreting blocks, fly ash bricks, etc. according to the build drawing. Masonry work is done using a cement mortar mix. It is a mixture of cement and sand. During this, carefully and as per drawing, gaps are laid for doors and windows during the masonry work. This is an image of how to carry out the brick masonry. Lintel over door gaps. The lintel is constructed on the door and window to support the masonry work over it. After this, further masonry work has been done. This is an image of a lintel, how it has been constructed. Floor slab or a roof structure. Then the formwork is started to construct a slab resting on the column and beam. Over slab formwork, slab reinforcement is placed as per slab detail drawing. This is an image of reinforcement has been tied up for a slab. Electrical drawing, how the conduit has been laid down has been shown here. At homes, electrical systems include incoming power lines, electrical meter, service panel, sub panels, household wiring, electrical boxes, switches, and of course the appliances, lights and equipments that put the power to work. Plumbing work. As we know that the buildings are constructed with a clean finish in which electrical and plumbing work is not visible. They are installed in the walls and slab such that they are concealed and not visible after the finishing work is done. The point and the pipe end left out such that later they can be connected with the electrical fitting and plumbing and fixtures. Plumbing system in a building consists of an underground tank which is supplied water via municipal or water department supply lines. For there, with the help of pumps and piping distribution system, water is supplied to the overhead tank and thereby due to gravity water reaches the home outlets. The overhead tank can however be eliminated if water is supplied directly from the underground tank to kitchen and toilet outlets. There comes the need of pumps which can give uninterrupted supply of water with required pressure to outlets so that when one opens up the tap you get continuous supply of water. Such pumps are called as hydropneumatic system. This is the way how the things. Here the water supply pipeline system has been shown. Here the drainage pipeline has been shown. Exterior finishing, external plaster. Plastering of external walls refers to the process of covering the uneven surfaces and rough walls with the help of plastic material named as plaster. The plaster is prepared by mixing sand and lime or cement concreting along with the water. So this is the image of how to do an external plaster has been shown here. Terrace and roof finishing. On the top of the slab, waterproofing is done to prevent any leakages in the slab. Generally, terrazzo tiling is done to prevent the slab from weathering effect. This is an image of how the waterproofing in the terrace has been carried out. Terrace waterproofing is something every individual constructing a new home should do. Since during the rains, the roof is the most affected part of a building, it often leads to leakages through the terraces that causes severe dampness and spoils the interior looks. Thus, the best and efficient method is opt for terrace waterproofing that prevents such a situation. Internal finishing, internal plaster. Internal walls are plastered with smooth finish and flooring is done with the tiles. Later on, the walls are plastered or textured. Plastering is the purpose of covering rough walls and uneven surfaces in the construction of houses and other structure with a plastic material called plaster, which is a mixture of lime and cement concrete and set along with the required quantity of the water. This is an image of an internal plaster. Floor tiling. Tiles are often used to form wall and floor coverings and can arrange simple square tiles or complex or mosaics. Tiling stone is typically marble, onyx, granite or slate. Thinner tiles can be used, walls other than the floors, which requires more durable sources that will resist impacts. So this is the methodology of how to do the tiling. Internal painting. Paint is a pigmented liquid, liquefiable or solid mastic composition that after application to a substrate in a thin layer converts to a solid film. It is most commonly used to protect, color or provide texture to the objects. Paint can be made or purchased in many colors and many different types such as a watercolor, synthetic, etc. Paint is typically stored, sold and applied as a liquid, but most types dry into solid. Most paints are either oil based or water based and each have different characteristics. So this is how the internal painting has been carried out. External painting. Different paints have a different properties and are formulated and different purposes. Interior paint is made to be scrubbed, resist staining and allow clearing. Exterior paints are made to combat against fading and mildew. This is a way of doing the external paint. External paving. Pavement in construction is an outdoor floor or a superficial surface covering. Paving materials include asphalt, concrete, stones such as flagstone, cobblestone, and set of artificial stones, bricks, and tiles, and sometimes wood. In landscape, architecture pavements are part of the landscape and are used in sidewalks, road surfaces, patios, courtyards, etc. Pavement laid in patterns like a mosaic were commonly used by the Romans. This is the methodology of how to do a external paving. External drainage. As external vertical drain, also known as a ventriculatory or extraventricular drain, is a device used in neurosurgery to treat hydrocephalus and elevated interstitial pressures when the normal flow of cerebrospinal fluid inside the brain is obstructed. So this is the methodology of how to do the external draining. Thank you for watching this presentation. Kindly like, subscribe and share, which will motivate me for a further good presentation. In case of any queries, do not hesitate to write to me. The response shall be earliest. Courtesy, the images courtesy is Google. Various articles and various topics has been collected from the various websites and posted as a post over here. I am really grateful for various websites on Google for providing me such a necessary data to create such a presentation. Contact me civilconclave@gmail.com or at my Telegram group, Ask Srini Telegram group, link as provided below. Thank you for watching this presentation. Kindly subscribe, like and share. Once again I request you, please subscribe and share so that I can give you further very good presentation.